Hey guys, I'm Ismail Sheikh again. Today we are going to learn about the SQL group by statement. First thing we are going to check is the introduction. Later we will check the syntax and we will take few examples. After that we will check how we can use it in SQL Server Management Studio. So please stay tuned. Thank you. So what is group by statement? A group by statement groups rows that have the same values into summary rows. Like if you want to know number of customers in each country, or if you want to know number of employees from a particular department, you can use group by statement to group those uh, columns together. So how we can use it? The group by clause is used with the select statement to arrange identical data into groups. So you have to use select statement to arrange the identical data, like employee ID from a department, or you want to find customers from each country. You can use select statement first. Later you have to add a where clause in that select statement, and it precedes with order by clause. So if you want to sort the data in the ascending or descending order at the end, you can use order by clause. Let's check the syntax part now. Before we jump into the syntax, you need to know that group by statement is often used with the aggregate function like count, max, minimum, sum, average. So as we saw earlier, we found the number of customers in the country. You can use count aggregate function. If I want to know the maximum value, you can use max. If you want to use minimum, you can use min. I have already explained these aggregate function in a separate video. Please check the playlist in the link below. So this is the syntax. You have to use it like this. You have let's take an example. You can use select and then the column name from the table name. Let's say if I want to select a column name like ID, I will put ID here. Select ID from table name, and then we will proceed with the condition after where clause, and then I'm going to group I'm going to use group by clause here, and after that you can end it with order by in order to sort. It's optional, it's not mandatory, but you can always use it to sort our data in a particular order. Let's take a quick example of group by statement. We will take an example of employee table. So if you want to find the SQL statement which finds list of number of employee IDs from each department, you can use this statement. Let's break down this statement first. So it selects count ID, so it counts ID, and then department from employee table, and then it groups it with the department. And if you want, you can add the order by clause as well and sort the values as per your need. Now let's move to the practical part. I have already created this table. This is the employee table, and it contains ID, employee name, date of birth, gender, department designation, and annual salary. Now let's say if I want to calculate the annual salary department wise, I want to calculate I want to know the sum of the annual salary per department. Now let's check manually first. If I want to know the annual salary for development or dev department, I'm going to add this row with this row. That will give me an annual or sum of salary for dev department. Now I'm going to now I want to know sum of each departments. So in this case, group by clause will be helpful. So let's check how we can do that. Let's paste this query. Now let's break down this query that I have used. Let's run this query first. Let's check if it gives the annual salary department wise. Let's execute it. Now you can see salary here and the department here. And if you add dev with dev, it will give you a manual count, which will be 29,09000. So that's the manual count. But if you run this query, it will give you an automatic count. So how this query works, let me explain you that. So first, I have used select statement in order to retrieve values from the employee table. Then I have used sum for annual salary, as I want to know the sum from the annual salary column. I have given this column name as salary, as you can see in the result. And again, I want to know the department of which we have calculated the annual salary for. And again, we are retrieving it from the employee table. That's why we are using from employee. Now I'm using group by clause over here. How I'm going to group this particular table? I'm going to group it with the department column, so I'm using it as department. Now this last statement, which is order by department, and I'm sorting it with the descending order. That's why I'm using DESC. If I want to uh, sort it with ascending order, I can use ASC. Even if I don't use ASC or DESC, it will automatically take the ascending order. So again, let's run this and execute it. You will see list of salary and the department. So basically it groups the department and salary values, and it will give you a new table, and it will be a more organized way to sort your values